We'll start by showing how to get started with RAYVN. If you have been chosen to use RAYVN, you'll receive an email when your user is created. The sender of this email will be RAYVN service, and the email will look like this. The email will contain a link, and we're going to click this link to set a password for our user account. Our username is the same as our email address, the one that you received the email at, and the password is decided by yourself. So the link from the email will take us to the page where you can set your password. Once you've set your password, click Set Password, and then we'll get sent to the regular login page, where we will log in for the first time. The first time you log in, you will be presented with a control check to verify your contact information and to complete your registration. If there is any wrong or missing information, you can correct it here. Remember that as a user, you must fill in a phone number as well, and also select the correct land area code for your number. You also have an opportunity to upload a profile picture if you want to do so. When you're done, click Save Profile and start using RAYVN. You'll then have completed the registration of your profile, and from now on, you'll only need your login credentials to log into the account. The next time you log in, you don't need to follow any link from an email. You can log in directly from the website rayvn.global. At the top of the page, you can see a section called Customer Login. If you click here, you'll be taken directly to the login page. You can also use app.rayvn.global for easy access to the login page. The dashboard is the first thing you'll see when you log into RAYVN. From here, you'll find a complete overview of the activity in the account. On the left side of the screen, you'll be able to see a list of all the logs you have access to. If your user is added as an account admin, group admin, or log manager, you'll also be able to see the red Start Log button that you can use to start a new log. The first time you log in, you'll notice that there are no active logs, and there is also no existing material in the account. As an administrator, you'll have access to the settings on the top right side of the screen. The number of options you have access to depends on your user access level. At the top of the list, we see a section called General. Here, you'll find settings that are valid for the entire account. Under this section, we can see the Privacy Center. Here, you can administer information about different users and choose to remove it or download the information about the user after the user has been deleted from the account. Then, we have the Account Settings. Here, you can administer emergency response plans and users, among other things. And lastly, we have the Archive. In the Archive, you'll be able to find a complete overview of the logs that have been started in the account. If necessary, you can also download logs or reopen logs from here. The last section is called What's New in RAYVN, which tells you about product news. The first section of the settings is called General, and this section shows settings that is connected to the entire account. To access these settings, your user must have the access level Account Admin. In the General section, you'll see several subsections. There's General, Log Settings, Logo, License Information, Rooms, and Sub-Incident Types. And if your account has the module called Integrations, you'll also see the subsection for that here. All these sections reflect content that is valid for the entire account through all the groups in the hierarchy. If you make any changes in these settings, the changes will be valid for the entire account and not just for the group that your user is connected to. In this section, you'll see the name of your account and the default language of your organization. You can change these at any points. You can also select an exercise prefix that'll be connected to all future exercise logs. If you scroll down, we can also select the default map position. You can do so by writing in an address, selecting coordinates, or by clicking directly in the map. The default map position is the position that our map will be centered around when we start a new log, unless we select a new location. If you want to make any changes to these settings, remember to click Save General Settings at the bottom. In the log settings, you can make changes that are specific to logs. For example, you can enable log entry editing, and you can also sort incoming shared log entries based on the time that they were created from the source log. This is also where you select what log tools you want to include in any future logs. You can include or remove any tools by clicking the switch on the right-hand side. It's important to note that if needed, any participant of a log can add or remove the log tools they need in each specific log. At the bottom of the page, you'll see a preview of the default toolbar that is based on the selections you've made here. This is where you can upload the logo for your organization. Remember that the logo should be formatted in a 1-to-1 ratio in order to fit correctly on reports. The logo you upload in this section will be attached to all the downloadable versions of your logs. License information tells you about the license deal that is valid for your account. You can find information about the number of users in your account, as well as responders, contacts, and teams in your account. In this section, you can administer rooms in your account. We're going to talk more about rooms in a separate video. Here, you can define the different sub-incident types that is available for your account. Note that these will be available for all groups in your account. We're going to cover more about creating sub-incident types and how to use them in a separate video. The Privacy Center is only available for account admins. In the Privacy Center, you can administer the information regarding personnel in RAYVN to ensure user privacy is maintained. If necessary, you can use the Privacy Center to remove the names of users where they have been mentioned in logs. This needs to be done after the user has been deleted from the account. In the Privacy Center, you can search for the name of a user to see what logs they have participated in, and also all the log entries where they have been mentioned. You can choose to anonymize the data connected to a user after the user has been removed from the account. And you can also select to download all the data connected to a user. All logs in RAYVN are documented. That means that every log, exercise or not, can be found in the archive. However, this is only possible for an administrator, which means that your user must have the access level account admin or group admin to access the archive. To access the archive, click the settings and select Archive. Here, you'll see all logs that have been started in the account. If we start from the top, we can see that there are actually two different archives. If we choose Message Log, we'll see a specific archive for SMSs that have been sent from RAYVN. If a message has not been delivered to the recipient, you'll be able to see that here. Let's now go back to the log archive to take a further look. The top section we will see in the log archive is made to help you filter out and sort logs in your account. If your account has a group hierarchy, we can search for which group we want to see the logs from. And we can also search for specific log titles. This can make it easier to find logs that have changed names during the duration of the log. And we can also filter by template. We can also search for logs created within a certain time slot. If we select the start of a period and the end of a period, we will find logs created within this time period. Beyond that, we can also filter by status. We can search for open, closed, or both types of logs. And we can also filter if we want to see only exercise logs, irregular logs, or both. If we take a look at the bottom section of the screen, we will see all the logs in the account, listed from latest to oldest in descending order. We can see the name of the log, when the log was started, when it was ended, and the total duration of the log. In addition, we can see two buttons on the far right side of each log. From here, we can either download the log, or we can choose to reopen a closed log. Both of these options can be beneficial in terms of evaluation after the incident has ended. Everything will be recorded in the log, and after the log is closed, you can download a final report. But it can also be easier to review the log while viewing the log as it was used in the platform during an ongoing incident. The account settings is where most of the organization is set up. And if your user has the access level group admin or account admin, you'll likely spend a lot of time in the account settings. To access the account settings, click the gear wheel at the top right and click Account Settings. The structure of the account settings is created with several categories and sections, and each category has its own folder. In the account settings, you can administer users, responders, contacts, and teams, and also contact lists. You can set up and edit stakeholder collaborations, and you can also create different kinds of templates, such as log templates, report templates, meeting templates, and message templates. You can also create resources, sites, see the imports in your account, and create tags. If needed, everything created in the account settings can be made available to one specific group or to several groups in your account. In the account settings, you can also administer the hierarchy of the account. You can create subgroups, edit the group that you're already in, and if you have the integrations module, you can also manage your API tokens here. In summary, the account settings is where you can administer most of the content in the account. Since we've defined different content in several folders, we can look ahead and start learning how we can work more efficiently and how to quickly locate where the things we have defined are placed. In the top right corner, we can see the account search field. This can be used to search for content in the account and locate where it has been placed. This function gives you access to see where the content has been placed when it's not in the same group as you. The search bar will start searching as soon as we open the search. We'll see a list of all the content separated into different groups. You can expand every folder to see what content it holds. The account search also works as a shortcut. If you have access to different groups in your hierarchy, you can click the content you want to see and be taken directly to that section of the hierarchy. The search bar is always available in the top right corner of the screen, no matter what folder or group you're currently working in.